Hey everyone, this is HypoWow and welcome to a brand new series. This is Amazing Island for the GameCube. Now, I just want to warn you in advance, this game does tend to start pretty slow, but it does pick up, so just be patient with it. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so here we get to choose our alter ego. The boy's name is Andy and the girl's name is Michelle, but for the sake of me being a guy, I'm going to choose Andy here. And for story's sake, we're going to keep his name Andy. Alright, so now that we actually get to control Andy, we can move him with the control stick and we can even control the camera with the C stick. And here coming up is another cutscene, and just for future's reference, I'm going to try and keep voice acting at a minimum, mostly because I can't do voices all that well, as evidenced by my Super Mario Galaxy LP, if any of you want to test that out. But if I have to, like if I can't come up with anything else to talk about, I will at least attempt to, because I find that actually can be kind of fun sometimes. But anyway, the card that we got here will actually come in handy because there is actually a monster inside. And also this monster will be random, so anytime that you like restart the story or anything, it'll always be a different monster. But anyway, we have Evening Volley, which is our first mini game of the game. Now, they come with instructions, but I'll be exploring this as we go on. And I just want to say that get used to seeing this game a lot in the story mode, because it will pop up in a lot, and I mean a lot, and I just messed up there. Okay, so the goal of Evening Volley is to knock off your opponent off of his pedestal. What you want to do is hit A for a straight shot and time it, so you like just before it hits you to hit it. And you can also press B for a lob shot as well. And that was pretty easy, but it'll add different people. Like, it'll add more monsters to the game that you have to compete against later on in the game. Okay, so now that we freed this guy, I'm going to tell you a little bit of my experiences with this game. This game came out around 2004 and it was released by Sega. And I actually got this game around that year. It was either 04 or 05. I got this around the time when I was in middle school. And a friend let me borrow this game, and he let me actually buy it off of him for $10 if I liked it. So I took it off of him. I borrowed it, and I liked this game, even though it does have a few flaws, which we'll see later. And I actually liked it, and I went back to him, and I wanted to buy it off of him, and so he actually let me have this game for free, which is awesome. So I got a free game off of him. And I actually took this over to another friend's sleepover, which we had a lot of sleepovers back then. And he liked it, and he bought a copy for himself. And from then on, that became one of our, like what I like to call one of our sleepover staple games, along with like the likes of Kirby Air Ride, before he moved. Another thing about this game is what you just saw is we get to control monsters, and pretty much we play mini games. So we will be making our own monster at some point in the game, but just not right now. It's going to be a lot of dialogue to begin with, but it will pick up soon, trust me. Anyway, we also play, the main gameplay of this game is through mini games, and we had to create our own monsters in order to repel the evil that's on this island, and we had to compete in their mini games. And there's a problem with the mini games I'll have, which I'll explain later as we go along. But it is a good game. I like it, even though it's not the greatest game. I would say that this is more of an overlooked game than an underrated, and the reason I say that is because an underrated game is like a game that should be rated higher. But I looked at the ratings of this game before I started LPing this, and they're right within the ballpark of what I would expect it to be. I'm not gonna say what exactly that is, but it is a really overlooked game, and this is part of the reason I wanted to do it, just to shed the light of day, just to share my experiences with this game to you. So maybe if you're interested, maybe you can pick this game up at some point. Okay, so actually what this game is, it even says right out on the box that this is a mix between, it's like Game Informer actually quoted this as saying this is Pokemon meets Mario Party. Now that is kinda true. The elements from Pokemon is just that we make monsters, and that's pretty much the extent of how it's Pokemon. And it's like Mario Party because we compete in different mini games, and that's pretty much the extent of how it's like Mario Party. But anyway, we will be making our monsters within at the end of this episode. But what Jimbe here is talking about, the elder of the tribe, is we have to collect 8 vision orbs in order to repel the black evil off of this island that's been terrorizing this island. And we are getting ready to make our own monster here in a little bit, as in right now. And that partner we're talking about is the monster that we're about to create. Like I've said many times before, I don't know why I keep bringing it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this right now. In order to make our monster, we're not gonna have full control over how our monster will be created. We will, like as we go on, as we complete the different mini games, we will unlock different things in order to make our monster better. But for right now, we're about to have like a little personality test. We're gonna have a few questions here, and this will determine how our monster will turn out. And like I said, there is a ton of dialogue at the beginning, but this will be over shortly, trust me. Okay, and so here come our questions. Here come our questions. Right, they all explain like what they do. Like there's a part where they control like drawing the monsters. That's pretty much how we'll go over how we'll make our monsters, actually by drawing them, but not right now. Yeah, like they're saying before, this is our first time, so we don't actually have full control over it quite yet, but we will be. Okay, so here's the first question. Like, what do you like best when you go on a trip? Scenery for me personally. Scenery. I'm actually gonna answer these questions honestly to the best of my ability right now. Let's see, you're inside a tunnel. What do you think there is on the other side of it? Another tunnel. I would want to see a big blue sea, honestly. Find a pretty stone. What color is it? I'm gonna say blue. Let's see, what would you take with you on a vacation? I think the best out of options for me would be a ton of books, even though I don't read a ton of books like I'd want to. I kind of want to get more to reading. I've been reading some manga lately, personally, but let's see what the next question is. What do you do when you have a picture taken? See, peace sign, nothing special, smile happily. Yeah, nothing special. I'm a plain sort of guy. I'm not the most exciting person. And so, after answering all these questions, here's what our monster will look like. It actually looks kind of funny. That's actually half the fun of making the monsters in this game, is trying to make them look as comically funny as physically possible. And now we get to accessorize our monster here in a little bit. Now the thing about accessories is each monster comes with its own stats and abilities, and all of your pretty much everything you select has some sort of effect on how your monster will perform in its mini games. And this color will just not do. It's got to have some kind of real pattern on it. Let's see, so let's change this. You have different options here, which also you can unlock different patterns as you go on, as you progress through the game. So I'm gonna pick a Mabu pattern, and we'll go with this blue one here. This one looks nice. And you can go back. Let's see, Oz, what we got. You don't have much to choose from at the very beginning of the game, but this game does get really deep with its options, trust me. So let's see what we got here. Smooth. Oh yeah, let's see, facing. I'm gonna try to make this look as goofy as I don't know what right now. We'll do it about right there. And you can even twist with the C stick to make your monster move, so you can see how it looks from like the underside or different sides, different angles. And yeah, let's give it some huge eyes, and that's about as big as it'll go. Let's see. It's looking good already. See, voice. Now this is probably my favorite part of the of this right here is giving it a voice, and this is by far my favorite, the phantom voice. Just listen to it. Okay, here's the normal. And here's the high pitch. Now the high pitched phantom voice is by far probably my favorite just because it sounds so funny. At least it sounds hilarious to me. I don't know about you. And we'll end off with accessories. Now, the little slots at the bottom will determine how many accessories you get to select. There's 8 in all, and I don't think you can unlock any more slots. You just have 8 to work with, and that's it. So, you know, let's give it a bolt head. Why not? The single, just because it's funny, or at least I think it's funny anyway. Put it right about. So I really hope this doesn't screw me over whenever I'm just screwing around with these accessories, because these different accessories grant you different abilities, like I said before. Let's see, let's undo that. Wish there was a way to make this a little more interesting. Okay, yeah, so you can also zoom in and out with the shoulder buttons with L and R, or at least with L anyway. And I'm gonna put it right about. That looks good. Okay, let's see what else we got to work with here. Let's give it some wings. I think these are fine. Get a pair of wings on the back here. Oh, you know what? No, let's give it to the legs. Give it to the. We're putting wings on his legs. Yes. Right. That ought to do. Let's see what else we got here. And add one more accessory. This is probably one of my favorites, is adding lights. Put a red light on his head. Let's see if we can move this a little bit. Make it look like a tiny hat. There we go. Okay. And I think that's it for the monster. Now all we have to do is just name it. Now, just for future reference, I'm not a big fan of like toilet humor. So don't expect me to name anything as like in any other LPs from here on out. Don't expect me to name them like anything inappropriate. Now what I'm naming this thing right now is a joke between me and my friends. So only like 5 of y'all are going to know what the heck I'm even talking about. Okay. Now we just need to take a photo of it just for the profile. That looks about good right there. Alright, so we're just gonna end the episode by looking at its stats and its attributes, and that'll pretty much be it. Ah, shoot. Didn't want to talk to him. And view abilities here. So he is a strange monster, no surprise there. Dragon frame attribute is water. He's got fairly balanced stats, except he's not very fast. I guess that's what I get for putting wings on his legs. But anyway, that's going to do it for the first episode of Amazing Island. Thank you all for watching. This has been HypoAlo, and I will see you all later. Take care, everybody.